I'm excited to be here with you all this morning as we've got two great guests with us, but the biggest guest is yourselves, the National Service members, whether it's AmeriCorps, AmeriCorps Vista, Senior Corps volunteers, your foster grandparents, your senior companions, and your RSVP members. You all are here you guys are the reason why we're here to celebrate today. So with that, I want to thank you guys for your service to not only New Mexico, but to the United States in general and to our great country. Right now, we have under 1 million AmeriCorps members that have served. This week, we will be hitting that 1 million mark. That milestone that will recognize the strength of AmeriCorps and the impact that it's had on our great country. So thank you guys for that. Here in New Mexico, this week we'll be getting ready to induct over 400 members that will be committing to serve in various communities around New Mexico. And that's exciting. That means that not only is there the need, but that means there are folks willing to put themselves out there to serve. So thank you guys for continuing to commit to serve. Some of y'all are committing to serve more than one term of service, so I thank you all for that. It's not easy work, but as the saying goes, you guys get things done. And please continue to get things done. At this time, I would like to bring up our Commission ED, Jennifer Reardon, to acknowledge some of our Commission guests in the crowd.
Good morning, and thank you so much for your commitment to service. I think it makes our hearts grow bigger, our communities grow stronger, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Happy opening day, and I want to take a moment just on behalf of the commissioners who serve for the great state of New Mexico on behalf of appointed by the governor to help support the work that you're doing and help make decisions on funding. We have incredible commissioners here today, and I want to take a moment to thank you all for being here. Patricia Chavez, Elaine Graff, if you'll stand, they're here on this side. Greg Holstrom, George Armijo Brasher, and of course Michael serves on the commission as well. I want to thank you all so much for taking time to be here. We're proud to serve, we're proud to support you, we are here to help. Thank you and happy opening day.
Thank you, Jennifer. The commission is the body that is in charge of overseeing a lot of the programs that you guys are participants in. I know that they are very interested, invested in the success of your projects. They will sometimes go out and visit with y'all, have one-on-one visits, or sometimes just read the reports that the commission will produce when the commission staff goes out to visit y'all. So I want to make sure that you, the members, understand that the commission is heavily vested in your success as well. So first, I don't know if I introduced myself. My name is Michael Garcia. I'm the New Mexico State Program Director for the Corporation for National and Community Service. Thank you. As I mentioned, whether you're an AmeriCorps, AmeriCorps Vista, or a Senior Corps volunteer, you're part of the National Service family. That means we are one big family. We are in this fight together to make America better. And that's through your service. And today, we're celebrating that family growing. We're celebrating the strength of that family increasing because of your service. This year, as I mentioned, we're bringing over 400 members into the AmeriCorps family, and hopefully it will only strengthen in due time. Later on this week, tens of thousands of AmeriCorps members will join the fight alongside you. That was part of the bigger family, as I mentioned. As I look out into the crowd today, I see the energy, the passion, the fire that you guys have as you're getting ready to serve. And I definitely understand that commitment to service that you all have. I once myself was an AmeriCorps Vista member, and I did have that same passion, and I carry that passion with me through my service today as the state director. The energy I get from you all as I meet with you, whether it's this morning, site visits, whatever it is, I carry that with me every day. So I thank you guys for giving me that energy to keep my job going, to keep me going as I work in my office every day. I know how you might be excited, some might be nervous about your next year's service, but I want to say one thing. Please always remember why you joined. Take that with you every single day. As long as you remember that, through the tough times, you will get through those tough times because you will then remember why you are doing what you're doing. Everybody has a different reason. Some might do it for the education award. Some might do it to better your community. Some might just do it to better yourselves. But just remember that you are bettering the country as a whole because of your service. Service in New Mexico is a tradition. Those of you from New Mexico know that it's ingrained in our culture. It's taught to us at an early age, and it's carried on, from parent to kid to grandparents. And I see that with our Senior Corps volunteers that are in the crowd today. Through their service, it's going to be exchanged, and as you guys grow older, you're going to pass that trait down on to your children, and your children are going to pass it on to their children. So thank you guys for continuing to carry on that tradition. Through that tradition, it's evident New Mexico ranked number 7 for the most AmeriCorps members per capita. I mean, that's in the entire country. So thank you guys. But let's not stop at 7. Why can't we be the top 5? Why can't we be the top 3? I mean, shoot, why not be the top? So get out there, tell your stories, encourage other folks to engage in national service, whether it's AmeriCorps service, whether you're engaging and involving your parents to join Senior Corps, or maybe even it's having them join the Peace Corps. Encourage others to join service. It's through you telling your story is how we grow. Through your positive impact that you're going to have in your communities, you guys will be able to be the best storytellers of how your service impacts the state and beyond. National service is a life-changing opportunity. Today we will learn about how those opportunities grow through our Employers in National Service initiative. Through that initiative alone, 400 plus doors have been opened to you all as National Service alumni. That means 400 plus alumni are encouraging you to join their team and be hired on with them. Whether it's joining national service and continuing, such as I did to work for the agency, or utilizing your skills that you've gained through national service to further your career and other opportunities, I encourage you all to grow this next year. I guarantee you're going to be a different person from you are now to the end of your service, and that's going to be a better person. You are going to grow as an individual. You are going to have, as I mentioned, your tough times, but you're going to have huge successes, and I know you are. I've seen the successes that AmeriCorps members and Senior Corps members have on their community every day, and I read it through reports. I see it every day on the ground, whether I just this morning, I was going to grab coffee, and I saw a Food Corps member. I mean, it's the impact I see every day that you guys have in the community. I can't thank you all enough. One last note, I want you guys to take this passion and energy, as I mentioned with you, to this next year's service. It's a boundless and tireless work that you guys are going to be engaging in this next year, but you guys can do it. I know you all. I see you guys every day committing to the community, and once you complete this term of service, I guarantee you're going to continue to serve your community in different capacities. So with that, we have two great guests here with us today. One is the great mayor of the City of Albuquerque, Richard Berry. And our other is our fearless leader of the Corporation for National Community Service, Miss Wendy Spencer. As I mentioned earlier, this week we will be marking on the milestone of bringing on our millionth AmeriCorps member. So, as I mentioned, or I want to thank you all for that, and let's not only stop at 1 million, but let's keep going for 2 million. So with that, I want to introduce to you Mr. Mayor. He has been a champion of national service ever since he stepped into office. He has been a huge supporter of whether it's the Senior Corps programs or the AmeriCorps programs in the city. He has been a tireless champion, and he's been one of your biggest supporters on the ground. I want to make sure you guys know that. He loves the work that you all do, through whether it's through one of his initiatives, through the Running Start for a Career programs, or through the Senior Corps volunteers that are in the community every day serving in Albuquerque. So I want to make sure you all know how much of a supporter he is of the work that you do every day. So with that, if you wouldn't help me welcoming Mr. Mayor Richard Berry.
Hey, good morning. Big hand for Michael. Man, this guy lives it, and you have to in this job. And of course, I want to welcome one of my favorite people on earth, Wendy Spencer. She's just all about goodness, and look at her. This is a picture of goodness and passion and the things that we need in this country and around the world. I want to make my comments. My staff will nod their head when I say I want to go off the script a little bit, because I always do, especially in circumstances like this. Because look, I've got a room full of people here that yourselves that are going to make a big difference, and you're going to make a big difference for your communities. You're going to change lives. I mean, and for the Senior Corps members, we've been around for a while. We've got some of those lessons learned in life, and we know that's true, right? But for those of you that are younger, you're going to be amazed at the human spirit. You're going to see things that are tragic. You're going to see things that will impact the way you look at the world. And as Michael said, you're going to pass those lessons down. There's a big dialogue going on right now with mayors around the country. And I know hundreds of mayors. I was on the phone with Rob Emanuel from Chicago yesterday. I mean, I coast to coast. Name a city, I'll tell you the mayor. There's a big dialogue about what's going on in the country right now, and what are the things that are going well, and what are the things that aren't going well. And one of the things that we recognize is that we have to have this common thread of community. We have to be about us, right? And one of the best ways to be about us is to help each of us out, to help each other. And that's what AmeriCorps, that's what AmeriCorps Vista, that's what Senior Corps is all about. It's that glue, if you will, that kind of holds things together. And there's all these theories in the country about why people do things and why they act the way that they do. And one of the remedies for some of the ills always comes up is this year of public service. If everybody in our country at some point in their lives would just take a breath, step aside from everything else, and do what you're going to do this year, we'd be a better place. And it's a heavy lift. As Michael was saying, it's a heavy lift. But the things that we're doing in Albuquerque, there's some things that we're proud of. Albuquerque, with the induction of the 130 of you today and the 400 plus in New Mexico, this million-person milestone, I think, is a big deal for the country. And I want to congratulate Wendy. I want to congratulate the president and the administration and everybody that's had a lot to do with that. But as we induct you today, we're also announcing that Albuquerque, our city, my administration, you, will be the first in New Mexico to become an employer of national service. That's a... So yay for us, right? But what does that mean? What that really means is we take this seriously. We're being intentional about this. This last couple of weeks, and I don't know if Wendy knew this or not, but we now have on our job application to the City of Albuquerque a box that now can be filled in that says, yes, I did a year of service. I was AmeriCorps, I was AmeriCorps Vista, I was Senior Corps. And we now take that into account as we're hiring people, because we're hiring people that are passionate. There's an old saying, if you talk to corporate people and they'll tell you, can you ever take a C person and turn them into an A person? And the answer is, well, some people disagree on if you can even do that. What you do is you hire A players, and then you work with those A players to get them into the culture of your organization, into the skill sets that you need. But you start with somebody who is an A player. We see you as A players. Sophia Sanchez over here, raise your hand. Sophia was AmeriCorps Vista. She was Vista in 2014. We hired her. She works about 20 feet from my office, in the mayor's office. And I can see the way she works every day, and I can see that experience and what it did for her. So we are being, like I say, intentional about making sure that we honor your service and that we respect what you did. This idea that New Mexico is ranked 7th out of the top 10 AmeriStates per capita, that's great. In New Mexico, sometimes we lose on per capita, don't we? You know, ask Alaska, ask Tennessee, ask another low population state. Sometimes we lose. We're winning. You're winning for us, and I appreciate that very much. The programs that we have in Albuquerque, we're addressing health and wellness. You're going to address education, environmental stewardship, veterans and military families, economic opportunities, disaster services. Those are all things that impact people's lives every day. Trisco Heritage Foundation, is Peter here today? Okay, Carolyn Ortega is here today with the foundation. Thank you. Let's give them a big round of applause for what they do. Thank you so much. Working with K-12 students on career college readiness. So many kids I run into as a mayor have trouble navigating. So much of what you're going to be doing is helping young people navigate. You'll be amazed at what that looks like and the things that will come up and opportunities there. Through our Department of Workforce Solutions, anybody here from Workforce Solutions? Selena Bussey is the cabinet secretary. Their work to create mobile resources for students to get into college. And of course, Andrew Mathis and our team from Running Start for Careers here. Thank you for leading the program that we created to give high school students real world experience. Anybody know what the graduation rate is in New Mexico? On time, 63%, maybe 48th, 49th in the country. Running Start for Career students, the 700 or 800 kids that have come through that, all of them coming out of challenging backgrounds for the most part, 99% on-time graduation rate. And you're doing that. And it's old school. It's old school, right? But we can't do it without you. So the fact that you're motivated, flexible, you're innovative, you're outcome-oriented, those are all things that really make a difference. Every year, I have a chance to do the Mayor's Day of National Recognition. It's called Mayor's Day of Recognition. It's a national program. We were one of the early adopter cities for that. And as a mayor, you do something like that and you wonder, well, is anybody going to show up? Well, we have one of the very best of those in the country. So we get a chance to put our chest out a little bit as a community and show, and I can call other mayors and say, if you want to learn how to do this, come and look at our leaders in Albuquerque, because that's exactly what you are. So congratulations on the 1 million milestone. Congratulations on stepping up as individuals. I just want to thank you personally. When this year is over, think back on today, right? I remember the thing in high school, look to your left, look to your right. You remember that? But look to your left and look to your right, and then take some time at the end of this year and get together for a cup of coffee or a craft brew or whatever you feel like getting together for, and talk about, tell the stories, show your scars, show your calluses, and make sure that you honor yourself in this process, and spend a little time every day thinking about what you learned. I get to do that as a mayor. Every day I learn something from my community. Maybe it's a homeless guy holding a sign. Running Start for Careers came from a 16-year-old kid at a high school that wanted a better opportunity. I'll talk to a senior that needs help with food. These people are going to teach you so much about life. It's going to be amazing. So God bless you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and thanks for letting me come by and help you celebrate today.
How about another round of applause for Mayor Berry? I told you he was a big supporter of y'all. And every day he's got your back. So make sure that if there's anything you need, I guarantee that he will be there to support you. So our next guest, this woman, she brings so much energy to the corporation. I remember when she came on board, she was fired up, ready to go. And because of that, I want to get you guys fired up and ready to go to help me introduce her. So with that, I'm going to do what I call a quick call out. So I'm going to call something out. You guys respond back to me with something And I need you guys to be energetic because we want to show Wendy how energetic you all are. So when I say Amera, you say Corps. Amera? Corps. Amera? Corps. When I say national, you say service. National? Service. National? Service. When I say 1 million, you say members. 1 million? Members. 1 million? Members. All right. See, Wendy, we got some energy here. So as I mentioned, Wendy's been a strong champion for service. Before she came to the corporation, she was the commission ED in Florida. So she has a great history of national service. I don't want to get into too much of telling her story because I know she will tell her story to you. So with that, please help me introduce Miss Wendy Spencer.
All right, Michael, that was great. So I have my own shout out. When I say, how you feeling? You say fired up and ready to serve. How you feeling? Ready to serve. Amen. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. And David is here, and so is Catherine. They're a great team. All of them are Vista alums. He says it's the only state office across the country where they're all alums of Vista. I'll just take his word for it on that before we challenge him. Mayor, thank you so much. You are a leader among leaders. And I'm telling you, he walks the walk and talks the talk, folks. Everywhere I see him around the country, he is sharing the good word about service to community and how important it is. And that we can't do this alone. Government can't do it alone. The private sector can't do it alone. The faith community can't do it alone. The nonprofit sector, but together we are powerful. And that is what national service is about, and you're a part of that. And you're a part of something really, really special. Now, we're in New Mexico, the land of enchantment, right? And we're also in UNM territory. Now, I didn't just do this by accident. Did I do okay? I think I've got the right colors. So I'm going to pretend to be Lobo Lucy today, I guess, right? And I've got to do this, right? Is this, I'm doing it right? I've got it, woof, woof, or what, is that what you do? Woof, woof, okay. See, I am not shameful, I can do it all. But I do, I'm wearing the proud colors because I know I'm in UNM land and it's really great. And it's great to be with all of you and to celebrate service today. I'm gonna do a quick shout out, Atrisco Heritage Foundation, you out there? Yeah, Earth Care, Eco Servants, NACA Inspired School Network. All right, now if you're small, you gotta be large and in charge, right? The New Mexico Highlands University, Rocky Mountain Youth Corps. Okay, Teach for America. They're out teaching right now. We couldn't pull them out of school. So, Legacy Corps. All right, it's here. Habitat for Humanity. Food Corps. Isleta Elder Center. San Domingo Pueblo. Youth Development. The Coalition to End Homelessness. Yes, Vista Program. Coalition, the Laguna Community Foundation. Excellent. You're mighty, but you can scream. Southwest Youth Services. Very good. And the next three, I hope I hear from loud. City of Albuquerque Foster Grandparents. Yes. City of Albuquerque Senior Companions. And the City of Albuquerque RSVP. All right, excellent. It's really great to have all of you here and the commission here. Jennifer, thank you for your leadership as the chair. It's wonderful to have a sister in service leading New Mexico, which is great. And I'm just so thrilled to be here as a part of the International Balloon Festival. How special is this community? Wow, it's really pretty amazing. I opened my window today and I could see the balloons and they were just absolutely spectacular. So it's really great to be here. So Employers National Service, I'm going to do a couple of highlights for you with the slides here. And I'm really, really pleased that Albuquerque is going to be a brand new member of Employers National Service. Now 406 strong across the country, representing 2.3 million jobs. They include the states of Montana and Virginia. The cities now joining Albuquerque, the city of New York, city of Philadelphia, Phoenix, Nashville. Groups like Disney, Delta Airlines with 80,000 employees, MasterCard which is just so, not total coincidence that our board chair of the Corporation for National and Community Service is a director at MasterCard. Glad to have them. And there's some of the other logos, CSX Railroad, Comcast, NBC Universal, and all across the country, nonprofits and faith organizations and the like. So it's really great. They're joining because they are looking for you, just like the mayor said. You are the A category. You are the individuals that companies are looking for to support. And they've told me this. I've met with many of these CEOs and C-level executives, and they've said, Wendy, we're not doing this to be on your poster or on your website. We're doing it because we're looking for outstanding Americans, young and old, who want to join a team, who put sort of service above self, organization above self. That's the characteristics that these employers are looking for today. So they are really, really thrilled to be a part of Employers of National Service, and it's growing. Something we're doing for you. If you're looking for a job after your term of service, I hope you'll go to the Employer of National Service website on our website. The mayor mentioned that, yes, he was one of the very first mayors of recognition for national service. And what was interesting, after we had a couple of these mayor, the county, National Association of County officials said, wait a minute, we love AmeriCorps and Senior Corps too. We want in. So we said, okay, county officials. Tribal leaders said, we want in. So now it's mayor, county, and tribal leaders of support for national service. And the next slide will show us how many. So this was a record number, 3,539 mayors, county officials, and tribal leaders together on one day, the first Tuesday in April, celebrated you. Said, we stand up for you, AmeriCorps and Senior Corps. We believe in you, and we thank you for your commitment to communities. Now, folks, let me tell you something. That's the largest coalition of mayors and county officials who've ever rallied around any issue on one given day ever in America. Now, what does that say about service? Maybe, just maybe, this is the one issue in America we can all agree on. And sometimes we're a little divisive right now, but this we can agree on. So that is great that you're a part of it. It was something interesting, talking about bipartisan support, that happened recently. There was a survey that was put together in the summer by Voices for National Service, a great advocacy group that supports your work with Congress. And they wanted to host a poll with a very experienced pollster. And they did it in the 9 bellwether states across the country. And they asked these likely voters in the states that vote, we call them purple states. They vote red and blue, Democrat and Republican and independents. And they asked likely voters their opinions about spending federal tax dollars on AmeriCorps and Senior Corps. And there's the result. 83% of these polls said they believe we should spend the same or increase funding for AmeriCorps and Senior Corps with our federal tax dollars. The pollster who I met, Michael, the senior director, he said, Wendy, I didn't even believe it. He said, when I looked at the research right at first, I said, we usually look at anything at 35% or above polling positive is a significant statistic. But when I saw 83, I had to go back and study the results that my people had turned into me. And I couldn't believe it, and it was true. And it is one of the strongest things he had ever seen. Now, what was interesting is they took a step further, and they turn to the next slide, and they look at specific things about national service and what polled very well. 80% of those believed that national service prepares young people for the workforce. 78% of those polled said they believe national service restores patriotism and civic duty. And 75% said they believe that national service programs helps replace government handouts and empowers people. This is wonderful. I mean, we know this because we're serving in this sector, but it's so good that these individuals polled around the country believe these kind of characteristics is what national service is all about. So it's really great, Mayor, that now I think we're finding that there is great support among citizens for national service. Also, the great work that you're doing is getting out in the actual impact that you're having. So let's talk about the numbers a little bit to reiterate some of these numbers. Just here in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, I'll start with Albuquerque. The next slide is going to show you $3.6 million. We're investing 1,100 AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants this coming year in 149 places in Albuquerque alone. You are a city of national service. That is really, really a high representation, and no surprise to me that the mayor is supporting you. He knows when to get behind a good horse, and this is a good one to get behind, and knows that you're making a difference as well. The next slide is on New Mexico as a whole. $9.4 million we're investing as a federal agency in 4,500 AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants. And also what's important is that communities throughout New Mexico are supporting this with their own investments, corporate, philanthropic support, the local government support at $11.9 million. Now, isn't that interesting statistics? There's actually more investment from the local communities here in New Mexico than there is at the federal level. That is also significant nationwide. Our budget is $1.1 billion a year right now, and we're very grateful to the President and to Congress for supporting us in this year, our second highest appropriation in our agency's history, and the highest appropriation for AmeriCorps in our agency's history, and it's $1.1 billion. However, something new happened this year. We were able to document for the first time ever that the local support, the local match, the contributions to help support AmeriCorps and Senior Corps actually exceeded the federal appropriation. It, this year, was $1.26 billion. And folks, that means a lot. When we go to Congress and we ask for support, they want to know, are you popular? Well, we have a poll that proves it. Do you have impact at the local level? We give them your performance measures, and we show that the local community leaders are supporting it with their resources as well, so it's fantastic. And I just wanted to put up in the next slide, and it's been mentioned twice already, but it is important to say New Mexico is the AmeriState number 7, which is fantastic. The ribbon there. So be proud of that, and I think that's really, really pretty great. And you have great congressional support. And Senators Heinrich, who is an AmeriCorps alum, and Senator Udall, who's very supportive and coming up with his own creative ways around national service and solutions in some recent legislation that he's proposing. So I love that our senators, our mayors, our members of Congress are thinking about how citizens can improve our community right here in New Mexico. It's really, really fantastic. I believe we may even have a representative from Senator Udall's office here. If you're here, raise your hand and please thank the senator for us. I don't know if she's made it or not, but thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know if Senator Heinrich, he sends his best to you as well, so it's great to have you here, and please give our best to the senators. Now, I met Ben Thomas. Ben, where are you with Rocky Mountain Youth Corps? Ben, I met Ben a few minutes ago, and Ben reminded me of something, because Ben has, of your 170 AmeriCorps members who will serve throughout the year, 7 of them have left New Mexico and traveled all the way to Louisiana and are serving, mucking, and gutting homes out. While we sit in the air conditioning here of this beautiful theater, they are wearing a full-on Tyvek suit, mask, and they're in a 100-degree temperature probably underneath a house mucking and gutting a home. Thank you, Ben, for their commitment. It's really, really great that they've traveled to help the Louisiana residents. And if Hurricane Matthew affects Florida, they may be asked to go and move into Florida, South Carolina, or North Carolina in the next couple of hours or days. So we thank you for your commitment. But I'll share a quick story. I met an AmeriCorps member in Louisiana when I was there a couple of weeks ago. And the AmeriCorps members from Rocky Mountain Youth Corps, you're staying in a place that I saw in New Roads, Louisiana, and it's a community center. It's a big barren room, and they're sleeping on cots. And it's you know, with 100 other members. It's not a lot of privacy there, but they have a shower trailer that is set up with the Good Baptist men who've come in from Texas, and they set this. It's literally a semi-truck trailer that you drive in, and you park, and you hook it up to a water source, and you climb up, and there's 6 showers on this trailer. It's really pretty neat, and they check you in and check you out, and you have 5 minutes to shower, and it's really pretty neat apparatus to use for these remote locations that don't have showers for large groups of volunteers or AmeriCorps members. Well, this one AmeriCorps member said, well, he said, I had an interesting incident when I was serving as an AmeriCorps member a couple of weeks ago in Houston, because Houston had floods earlier this year. And I said, oh, yeah, what was that? And he says, well, I went to take a shower, and it was my time, and I signed in, and I was at the end of the line. And so I went in, and I was showering, and everything was fine. And in the middle of my shower, the water shut off. And I thought, well, that's odd. So I kind of waited a minute to see maybe it would just turn back on. It was just a little hiccup, and I waited for a few minutes and didn't happen. And all of a sudden, the shower started moving. He grabbed his towel, he leaned out opened the door out, and the trailer was actually driving out of the parking lot. And he is in there taking his shower, but now he's got a towel around him. He's leaning out and hollering at the driver, wait, please stop. I'm still in here. But anyway, his name, I think it was Jason. He was telling me this story, and I said, well, but for your experience as an AmeriCorps member, you will not be able to tell this story again. But it's really great to have an opportunity to serve in AmeriCorps Senior Corps, because you will laugh. You will cry. You will have moments that are very difficult. But you will, one thing for sure, you will have the experience of a lifetime that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And you will share the good, the bad, and the ugly and the hard days as well. I want to pull out a couple of anecdotes for you before we close, because I looked at some great stories. And the foster grandparents from Albuquerque that are here today, and those that are leading it, I love the fact that right here in Albuquerque, you're helping 170 children with literacy and math skills. Think about their ability to grow and learn. It's really pretty amazing. And you may be, in addition to their teachers and their parents, hopefully they have supportive parents, between the three of you, you may be the reason they graduate from high school. Because if you're not at third grade reading level, you're not reading in third grade, by the time you get there, you're 4 times less likely to graduate from high school. So you are helping those young children meet their goals. There's a group of dedicated, I hope I say this right, Otero? Did I say that right? Otero County RSVP volunteers. 4,500 hours gave their time to patients at the Holloman Air Force Base Medical Clinic, pharmacy, by doing intake, processing prescriptions, stocking shelves, returning patient phone calls, providing face-to-face customer service. So important, that one-on-one contact that is important to our military men and women and their families. Food Corps AmeriCorps members in Albuquerque, Anthony Gallup, Paso del Norte region, Santo Domingo, Pueblo, and Silver City developed partnerships to help, and this number is staggering, 7,475 children. Really, really amazing. Supporting them with providing food, nutrition, community gardens, so many wonderful things from the Food Corps, which is really great. Rocky Mountain Youth Corps, big contingent of you here. We're so glad you're here and helping the Bandolera National Monument, one of the oldest Native American ruins in New Mexico. I hope to go there sometime. Helping preserve some of the most cherished ruins at the monument. Your members are learning techniques that were used by your ancestors, our ancestors, others, centuries ago when the structures were built. If we don't preserve this now, we'll lose it forever. And it is so important. The mayor cares deeply about this. We were talking about this morning. It is so important to hold on to our culture, hold on to our heritage. And if you don't do it, I'm not sure it'll get done. So thank you so much, Rocky Mountain Youth Corps. It's really great that you're doing this. Just last week, we announced a new Resilience AmeriCorps sites in 55 tribal communities, including 9 here in New Mexico. This is Sean Donovan, maybe one of the most powerful people in America, as he is the Office of Management and Budget Director for the President. He's in charge of the purse strings. So it starts with him and goes to Congress for approval, and with support of the President. And he loves this program, and there he is taking a photograph with some of the AmeriCorps Vista members. And they're also going to be serving in New Mexico, so it's really great for that program as well. Now, you're a part of a very special week. This week, as has been mentioned, we will induct the 1 millionth AmeriCorps member. And I want to show you this short clip video about it. All right, you're about to be a part of this in just a few minutes, so that's pretty fantastic. So now I would like to invite Mayor Berry to come up so I can officially thank and congratulating him on being the newest employer of national service. Congratulations, Mayor.